Jeffrey here, student at JTech in Jacksonville, Florida in the diesel program. Right now we're in our Drive Lines 2 class, and we're going to go over in this video some basic checks for your drive shaft. First we're going to do a run out check on the drive shaft here. That's going to tell us if our drive shaft is still true and round. Next, after that, we're going to do some checking of the angles, the working angles, to make sure they're within specifications. And then finally we're going to check our phasing to make sure that the two yokes are properly phased. In order to do that, we've got two tools here. We've got our inclinometer. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this against the drive shaft and then turn it. That'll give us our readings. We're doing 6 inches from each end and also in the middle. And then we've also got another tool here, which we use to check the angles, is the inclinometer. This will tell us what our angles are at. We can use that to compare and get the proper reading. So first, let's check our drive shaft. So we just move this up to it, get in position. You want to have the point of the needle depressed a little bit so you get a good reading. We zero it out. And we'll get our wheel turn. And just watch for movement. You'll see your needle tip here. It's going to jump around. Alright, so we get one good turn, and we saw it moved about between 5 and 10 millimeters on our dial indicator. So we'll move this down to the center, and we'll do this again. Alright, we get a wheel turn. Alright, so you saw on that one we got about 10, another between 10 and 15, which is still fine. Normal specifications is somewhere between 0 and 40. It'll vary depending on the model of your car and your manufacturer, but look up that spec before you do this and you should be fine. This last one you won't be able to see, but we'll go ahead and measure it. Alright, get a wheel turn, please. On that one, we got about 30 thousandths there. Still within specifications, though that is a little bit high. So it's something we need to check and keep monitoring this vehicle, make sure there's nothing going bad. Alright, so what we're going to do next is check our working angles using our inclinometer. So first thing we do is get our U-joint here lined up and flat. And with this, we're going to take our inclinometer and we're going to have it angled this way so that it's going with the incline of the drive shaft. We're going to level out the bubble here and get our reading, and that is about 13 and a half. Alright, we'll turn it back, get our other cap right there, U-joint, take this reading. That gives us 14 and a half. So we've got a 1 degree working angle on that. So what we need to do is compare that to the back. Normally, you want to have between a half and 3 degrees working angle, and then you want your front angle and your rear angle to be identical, but it is okay to have a 1 degree difference, up to 1 degree. So for this, we're going to turn it to get our good cap. Alright, we're doing the same thing right here. With your inclinometer, we're going to level it out. Alright, we have about 16 and a half. Do the same thing, turn it. Alright, get it level. And we'll do the same thing. And we're at 12. Now for this one we have a 4.5 degree working angle, which is 1.5 degrees above what is acceptable. Now, if you notice, there's no bed on this truck. Because there's no weight, because because of the lack of the bed, this causes our suspension to rise up, give us a different working angle. So if we were to put the bed back on, it would be within spec. So this is something to take into consideration if you're carrying a heavy load, or you take a load off of your vehicle. It's going to change your working angles on your drive shaft, which can cause problems such as vibrations and damage to your drive line. So it's something to take into consideration. Next, we're going to check our phasing. Now for that, you have to check the phasing on one of the caps on the drive shaft here, and you need to check your incline against the drive shaft. So we'll line it up here. Get it to level. Alright, and you can see what we have is a 14.5 to 15 degrees. Alright, do the same thing. Now make sure your inclinometer faces the same direction you're taking your measurements. We will level this out. Alright, and here we have about 16, so we're 1.5 degrees. So normally you wouldn't want to go above 1 degree phasing, so the tethers are a little bit out of phase. It's not too drastic yet, but it's obviously a sign that something's wrong and it needs to be investigated and repaired. So there's some quick checks. You can check your phasing, check your driving, working angles on your drive shaft. You can also check your run out on your drive shaft. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. Thanks.